Hello everyone, watch this review here with my news and updates for the month of May. Tons and tons of stuff to talk about, and I figure let's start off with Marvel Legends. As you guys probably remember, there was a big shakeup recently over at Hasbro. Among other people, Dave Bonner, who previously sculpted and did stuff with the Toy Biz Marvel Legends, was let go. There's a petition floating around to get him sort of reinstated and all that. But I mean, sort of the more pressing issue isn't so much, well, yes, obviously the sculpts and level of quality are always an issue, but the other thing I'm noticing is basically all the problems we previously had with the line, except for the store exclusives, still are kind of there. I mean, there's just random distribution problems. We're seeing tons of quality errors and stuff. So, while the line's kind of revamped and stuff, and we are getting somewhat nicer looking figures like the Bucky cap here. So far, my favorite from the revamped line, well, for the normal figures. I imagine for the Build-A-Figures, my favorite will probably be the Arnim Zola once I finally finish completing him. I mean, this is just a really nice looking sculpt, not taking away from Doc in there, who is also a decent figure, but some of the sensibilities do remind me of older figures. And, overall, I just don't think he looks as nice. But, again, still seeing tons of random errors with the figures. Distribution still kind of crap. Particularly on a local level, my local Walmart, you can never seem to find them in. Target, it's all peg warmers. I think it's been the same 3 claws, 4 constrictors, and 6 Iron Man, the standard, not the variants, that have been in there for a while. I don't know if they're getting in new stuff and selling out immediately or what have you, but there's definitely a bottleneck, and part of it is just from the sort of weird decision to release the 2 waves right on top of each other, and then I guess nothing's going to be for a while. So I'm kind of curious how that's going to develop. Otherwise, the stuff that you see before you is all stuff that I recently reviewed, except for the stuff that I didn't review. But just wanted to point out in the case of the skeletal animals here, I've randomly been winning stuff from crane grab machines. Figured I would just mention some of it. I am kind of getting a skeletal animals collection here just because these are my second, third ones I've won. At any rate, I think I'll probably be winning more of those in the future if they keep tossing them in the machine. Really recently reviewed was Drago Man, a really decent original creation for the Masters of the Universe Classics line. Also took a look at Zolom, who's been out for quite a while. In case you're wondering about the comic, it's that Cable and Deadpool pack-in that came with the Taskmaster Deadpool Marvel Universe 2 pack, which I started reviewing, stopped, need to get back to. I don't know, sometimes when you're reviewing a figure, you just aren't satisfied with how the takes come out, and you figure you might want to just give it a redo. It happens. But in other news, by the way, not that it really matters, I only decided to open the Deadpool Taskmaster set finally because I ended up opening and reviewing the movie version of Deadpool from the X-Men Origins Wolverine line. Figured, it'd be cool to just take a look at the 2 of them put next to each other. Meh. I probably will have the review up for the X-Men Origins Wolverine Deadpool, the movie version, next few days. Honestly, I've always been kind of mixed on the whole thing just because, it's so clearly not Deadpool, but at the same time, it's actually sort of a neat design. I mean, if they'd opted for an originally created mutant, it would have worked. At any rate, jumping on, you've been seeing these images of Mr. Sinister and Gambit because I'm going to be reviewing a set of figures I do not own. And, well, technically it's not so much a review, it's the reason why I will be buying this set. Originally, when I saw these, I was really excited because I didn't pick up a Gambit, and, I do like the character Mr. Sinister, but when I finally saw these in stores, it's just, kind of underwhelming. First off, the Gambit doesn't have any ankle articulation, something I wasn't aware of. I guess it's true of the original sculpt as well from the X-Men Origins Wolverine line. Something about the Mr. Sinister just looks off. I expect that, if not for the costume color, which is sort of this really deep, either black or really dark blue, I probably would have picked it up if it's more like the standard light blue that I'm used to, but I've been looking at this site One Per Case where they have this review. They actually pointed out something kind of interesting. I mean, I sort of noticed it as well, but basically the Mr. Sinister was just a redo of the Colossus. So I mean, it's kind of crazy. Some of the proportions kind of just seem off as a result. Yeah. More impressive is the Adam Strange Thanos 2-pack. If I hadn't previously picked up Thanos, totally would get the set. But I mean, given that I already own one iteration of the character, and it's a decent one as well. Yeah, I just don't feel like picking up the other set as well. That makes up any sense. Sure, it makes sense to somebody. That somebody in this case is me, but, other people as well, maybe. Maybe. Alright. Now, one of the big news items for April, I'm sure a lot of people are aware of this, is that the Young Justice line, both the 6 and 4 inch, were cancelled. I'm only now learning about this because I guess I missed some of the earlier announcements. Apparently Sean Long posted something on April 10th, which I somehow missed the video. Didn't really learn about it until I was watching one of those Super Sundays. I'd like to say this surprises me, but it kind of doesn't. In the case of the 4 inch, I just didn't see that really working at retail anyway, considering they were trying to charge like $10 for these 4 inch figures with barely any articulation, and JLU they had trouble with previously. And even like this one Toy Arc interview with a Mattel rep, they were just mentioning how all these JLU configurations they learned didn't work, and so I was just thinking, why would they go ahead and try to do a 4 inch line in the JLU style with Young Justice if they knew that every configuration so far had been a failure with this previous line? But I don't understand toy company logic on that one bit. The 6 inch line surprises me mostly because I would expect that they would just like retool it and just reissue the stuff without the stands and bases, but instead they've just opted to pull everything, which is kind of bullcrap. Honestly, $20 plus was a lot for the Young Justice stuff, but there are some characters that I would have been willing to pay for that. In particular, Miss Martian, because she probably won't get a release anywhere else. I was lucky in that I did manage to get all of my Young Justice 6 inch figures for quite a bit cheaper than they were supposed to retail for. Target had a half off sale on DC Universe products at one point, so I picked up 3 of them then. And then later on I managed to get 2 more on clearance for $5, so yeah, but I mean, if you actually paid $20 for those, that would kind of suck. Although, if you do really want the characters and really want the figures, you would go that length. I mean, I probably would have. I'm just lucky in that I didn't have to. Although, speaking of money that I paid that I didn't really need to, I guess even the most recent DC Retroaction stuff, which by the way is also long cancelled, has been popping up in overstock retailers like TJ Maxx and Marshalls, and Darkseid being the one character that I paid the $20 for Wave 4, also coincidentally was the only one that I saw from that wave in stores so far, but it's irony. But yeah, I guess it's kind of really disappointing news, just as the news that they're, I guess, canceling the Avengers, the Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which was a surprisingly decent show. I really need to catch up on both that and the Young Justice cartoon. Well, supposedly Young Justice will be going on for quite some time. It's just that Mattel managed to botch the toy line for it. And it's just really confusing how, they just keep canceling all these Marvel properties, especially whereas a lot of them recently have been fairly good. Whereas previously they were doing some that were, I guess, less good. I did like the Iron Man Armored Adventures, or Armored Adventure, I can't remember what it was actually called. I know that some people didn't really appreciate that one, because they rolled back all the characters' ages and stuff. They went for this really sort of crappy CGI, but it was actually a pretty entertaining show. Supposedly that one is getting a second season, which I'm happy about. I don't know if it started yet or not, but I watched the first season last year, and after a while, when you finally start to get into it, the characters do sort of pull you in. Now, as you guys may or may not be aware, BotCon happened recently. It ended the 29th, and they showed off like a lot of the new generation stuff, in addition to other items. I'm sort of mixed on the whole Transformers thing in that I'm kind of collecting it, but I'm not really picking up a ton of the stuff at this point. But there is a ton of stuff that they showed off there that I'm kind of excited for, and I probably will be picking up, including Kickback here, whose designs kind of really interesting, to say the least. I like the robot mode, and the alt mode is also kind of cool. I mean, it's just gonna look, it's just a really different item, but the thing that I'm most excited for is the Deluxe Starscream. As you may or may not be aware, Starscream is my favorite Transformers character, and he just looks amazing. This is one spectacular figure. I'll probably end up picking up at least 2 copies. One to keep on card. I don't really keep things on card, but with some characters, do kind of make an exception, especially in case something happens to the original one. It's good to always have a spare of a favorite character. I mean, they showed off quite a few sort of neat Generations items. I love how they already have the colorways scheduled for the characters that aren't even released. It's just the whole Transformers way. Now, probably will be holding off on him until I figure out whether or not I actually like Shockwave. I mean, I like the look of the design stuff, but depending on the transformation, because I still kind of suck at transformations, that does kind of tie into whether or not I do pick up these supplementary characters. I mean, there's definitely a lot to be excited for there. I may end up picking up the Masterpiece Prime, which is going to be a Toys R Us exclusive. I still have not picked up a Masterpiece figure quite yet. But I figure if I pick up anybody, it'll likely be either Optimus or one of the Seeker molds. Okay, so there's a bunch of other stuff I kind of want to talk about, but I figure I'll just say 2 or 3 more things and just end the video with that. First off, we do have a definitive date set for, I guess, the return of Battle Beasts. Although it's technically not so much a return as is sort of a revamp. Diamond Select officially only has the rights to use the name Battle Beasts. So the figures are basically a spin-off of the Mini-Mates. They're going to be a bit taller. They still have really wicked-looking sculpts, and I'm definitely going to pick up at least some of them. I guess they did another clear-through promo or whatever at C2E2. But yeah, I guess they're coming in fall 2012. Somebody also mentioned that Beast Morphers, which is the Takara version of the original stuff, might be coming back as well, which is also kind of sort of cool news. One final last thing, I did kind of sort of get a shout out on Jay Pizzle's channel. I guess Movie Nights with John or something, the actual thing's called. But the guy was reviewing some superhero movies, so I just tossed up a comments thing on what I thought of Spider-Man as well as Iron Man, and he selected my Spider-Man to be one of the featured his review snippets or whatever. The only problem is he greatly condensed my comment. It's missing like 2 or 3 sentences. Kind of a long-winded guy. But yeah, gotta shout out on a somewhat big channel. I guess he has over 500,000 subscribers, but given that I review something not movie related, I doubt I'll even get 1 subscriber from the attention. Although it's probably not a lot of attention because I'm wedged in there with 3 other people and they do like 9 different random comments, maybe 12 different comments per show or whatever, so. But hey, still recognition, kind of. But yeah, those were my news and updates for the month of May. Who knows what May will bring? I don't. And I leave you with that. Until next time, folks.